Gemma. That's got the green. It's Catherine Ryan. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, don't go baking my heart. It's Richard Bacon. Newton Cobb. It's Penning Ben. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Cobb.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1/3 of people flush the toilet while still sat on it, which I believe is known as a Manchester bidet. It takes the average person 7 minutes to fall asleep, although that can drop to under a minute if you're going out with John Richardson. Which you're not. No one is. Well, you go out with him then. And 25% of women have difficulty experiencing orgasms. They could try having a threesome with me and their more attractive sister. Might help, might not. I'm just saying, let's give it a go. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation would be talking about?
The snow.
Oh, Gemma, straight in there.
Well, because it was like really changed all the colour of the country and stuff.
How do you mean it's changed the colour of the country? Is it quite insightful?
No, because when you look out your window, like obviously there's grass and there's grey buildings and like you drive through London, but when it snows, it's beautiful. So I think that's a hot topic to talk about.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a cold topic.
Oh yeah.
First reason why John doesn't have a girlfriend, that is.
In a continuing series, let's see how high we can get. There's my voice, that's number 2. Hello, number 3.
You know who I envy in the snow, in this weather? It's the only time of the year I envy dog walkers. Because I just think, oh, it'd be great, you know, when they have the dog has a crap and you've got something warm in your hand for a bit.
Have a look at this car. This is a driver that basically... He cleared his windscreen. How could he possibly have an accident when he's prepared that thoroughly?
That's not a cleared windscreen, that's a glory hole. I've seen holes like that in Louis Walsh's dressing room wall. Do you know what I did to de-ice my car? I'd boil like 3 kettles, and then when they were hot, just chuck one over it.
That can crack the window screen, though.
Excellent intervention from Gemma Collins, yeah?
Why?
Because you're putting boiling hot water on cold, so it can crack.
I can't believe we're getting science.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. We're doing a bit of science together. So hot water on cold, don't do it.
Yeah, because it will crack and shatter and it could be dangerous.
Because it expands too quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. It was very busy. It was very busy, though. A friend of mine works in a puffer jacket factory. And he said they just can't kill the geese fast enough. He said, we're in there just... So they're just chucking grenades in there now.
Richard, you obviously think the snow is very dangerous because you're on a news radio channel.
And the news reports often say things like, they always say, only take an essential journey, don't take any non-essential journeys. And often the reporter saying that is in a tiny little village somewhere, and they'll have driven their quite big outside broadcast vehicle down a tiny little road into a village to tell you what you already know, that it snowed.
And then they're telling you don't take non-essential journeys. Who's going out for a spin anymore?
Well, but one person's essential journey isn't another's. For example, I consider it essential for me to drive around counting snowmen. Somebody's got to do that, you know, count the snowman, height. You know, I can't do the weight, that's tricky. Every time I see a snowman, I always think to myself, God, I must get round to building a snowman.
Why don't you stop driving around looking at them and use that time to build a snowman?
Or take one.
Get a van if there is one you really like, with 2 coals for the eyes and carrot for the nose, perfect.
Do they have a tradition of building snowmen in Germany? Is it
we have got the finest snowmen in the world.
Well, I want to ask about German snowmen. Do they put the coal underneath the carrot? That would look good, wouldn't it? That would look good. Get a bit of colour there.
Let's have a look and see if the snow is up there. Yes, Britain continues to be battered by freezing weather. Conditions in Birmingham were described as appalling, with no food on the shelves, schools shut and emergency services stretched to breaking point, and then it began to snow. Sean's team, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Prince Harry, I would say.
Yes. Prince Harry's finished his tour of duty.
It does make it sound like he's finished the game and gone on to Call of Duty 2.
Yeah. You've made a documentary.
Oh, yeah, I have. It's on BBC Three on Monday night, and I went out to Camp Bastion to make a documentary about Prince Harry.
Right.
His time out there.
So do you hang out with Prince Harry? Or?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I did an interview with him. There was a slight technical reason why I couldn't. But it's...
sorry, what was the technical reason why you... Tell me, what's the technical reason? Have you got a thing about gingers?
I just didn't... That's my way of saying I failed to secure an interview with Prince Harry. But I presented... so I've done a tour of Camp Bastion of what his life is like out there. And it is fascinating. And he... you know, he's been heavily criticised this week for comparing killing members of the Taliban to playing computer games. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw people gave him a hard time about it. I think we're very squeamish about this, though, aren't we? He talked about killing the Taliban, and we sort of went, well, he's in the army, and we sent him over there. That's sort of his job, isn't it?
And we know he's in an Apache helicopter with a machine gun. What do they think he was doing? And it was, I suppose, in a way as well, it was a bit rich of the Taliban.
A bit rich of the Taliban. They won't like that bit. They will not like that. What does he say about us? What did he say about us?
You read a quote in the paper that says, oh, it's a bit stupid to compare a computer game to killing real people. And you go, yeah, that's interesting. And you go, oh, it's the Taliban. I think I agree with the Taliban. That is a new moment in your life. Well, maybe they're all right, you know. Maybe... I kill people, but, I'm good at computer games because of my thumbs.
I get where he's coming from, though.
You get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Gemma, tell us more.
I tell you for why, because when you play a computer game, you go into another zone.
Yeah.
And when he went to the war, he just applied his skill on the Game Gear or whatever to the war. So when he was, say, like, in combat in the computer game, he put himself back in that headspace when he was, like, really fighting people.
Knees and toes. Knees and toes.
I get where he's coming from.
Yeah. I'll give you the actual quote from Prince Harry. He said he admitted killing Taliban members, saying, if there's people trying to do bad stuff, then we'll take them out of the game. We have to take a life to save a life.
He talks like a Premier League footballer there. Yeah, Afghanistan, always a difficult place to go. We knew I had to dig in deep, so I'm just pleased I was given a gun. And that's what it's all about at this level. Next Saturday, Ipswich.
He has been prepared, though. Like, no wonder Prince Harry's killing Taliban. Look at his entire life. Murdering the dance floor, slaying babes every night, carnage. That's who he is.
But why is there a war there? Because they've caught Osama bin Laden.
Good question.
They've caught Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
So what's what they're fighting for now?
Basically,
That's a good
the
question.
Taliban don't like fun.
No, it's at war with Afghanistan because they've got loads of grit. And that is what Britain needs every winter. Doesn't have enough grit, and that is why Britain is in Afghanistan getting all the grit.
I just think it's all a waste of money. Like, these wars cost money and stuff, surely.
They do.
It's a waste of money.
It's
You're
a
the
waste-
people that gave us vajazzles. Let's not start.
All right, then, I'll let you off.
Let's have a look and see whether Prince Harry is up there. Yes, indeed. Prince Harry has returned from Afghanistan. No one's quite sure what Prince Harry's going to do next, but he's served in the army and his mum died when he was young, so he could go a long way on X Factor. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing still to get.
Is it the smell that came over from France? The smell in the week was released and it came directly across. Did people not know about this?
Yeah, I knew that. So, Jimmy, what was it? What did it smell of?
Well, it's apparently it smells of sweat, garlic and rotten eggs. According to reports, it's called mercaptan.
Mercaptan, and it came from a French factory, didn't it? And then it wafted over...
It wafted over the channel.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's impossible to comment on this without being anti-French. So why try? Yeah. You know it must be bad when even the French notice the smell.
Well, I think...
Could you smell this in Essex?
No. We would not have come out of our houses if we'd have smelt it.
But then equally, I think the bigger debate is, what if you were a village sort of 5 miles away and you knew you could smell it in the other village but not in yours? Would you drive to smell it?
You know who you are? My sister had a boyfriend who would purposely go in the loo after she'd been in there and be like, yeah. And she was like, don't go in, don't go in. And he was like, I'm not, I'm just getting hand towels.
It wasn't me, can
And
we just say? Can we just clear that up? I think it was glad to see, because we were calling it Le Pong. It's nice to see Pong getting a bit of work without Ping piggybacking on it. Because Ping got the big microwave contract about 20 years ago. Poor old Pong's like, you off out again? Yeah, I'm doing the microwave gig. I'll just wait until someone plays that game from the bloody 70s again. Poor old Pong.
The thing that is concerning, like, everyone's going on about the smell, but what if there is some bad stuff in that gas that has got into our bodies if you did breathe it in, and it's like eating our organs and you don't know it?
Could be melting our brains.
It could be, it could be. People my age don't really watch the news because they find it boring. But
how old are you?
32. Overnight sometimes I go on YouTube and I came across this guy, right, called David Icke.
Yes.
And I've been watching him and it's really
Well,
like...
this explains a lot.
You're his target audience, Gemma.
Am I?
Yes, you are exactly the sort of person he's trying to reach.
He is fascinating. He has said Beyonce isn't real.
But...
And basically, we are all run by aliens. Like, there's aliens living amongst us in this country, like reptiles, which... See, why do you know to do that? Why do you know? He says that. David Icke says they pull off their... he shows it on the thing.
They pull off their faces?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine when you take the fake tan off, it looks different.
Yeah. Why should we just believe that this gas has just come? Why did it come? What is it doing to us?
You sound like you've just smoked your first joint.
I haven't.
Well, I can tell you the French gas leak is not one of the most talked about things this week. But after extensive investigation, the cause of the foul odour was narrowed down to 2 possible sources: everything in France or everyone in France. OK, fingers up, buzzers. One more thing to get. Go ahead.
Is it the fact that everyone in the world's a lizard? I assume so, because I didn't know until this evening. I'm only learning this now.
Have you ever watched a lizard? Have you ever watched a lizard? There's no way lizards could take over the world because they're so f***ing slow. They're like this. You could edit a bit of this out, but I'm going to stay here for a few minutes.
OK, let's get on to the next thing.
I'm doing the thing.
Stop being a lizard.
How is that lizard going to take over the world, Gemma? Can he operate a gun?
He's not a real one. He's not a real one.
He's right, Jimmy. He's right.
John's team.
The referendum.
Ooh. Well.
There's this bloke called David Cameron. There's this referendum's come about, and we've got to sort it out. And this is where I'll come to you. Because I know what the word is, but I don't know really what a referendum is.
It's like getting your news in Braille and you're wearing gloves.
They're saying we're going to have a referendum, which is a vote on whether we're in or out of Europe. That's what
That's what it was about. Yeah, I know now.
That's it, yeah.
I think what we're proving here is that there should not be a referendum on Europe.
Cameron says the British people should have their say. No, when the British people vote, they keep Rylan and Spidey in. You don't want to do that.
I mean, that whole nonsense debate here in Britain, if Britain is in Europe or not, what a nonsensical debate. To anyone who thinks that Britain isn't in Europe, you can smell France. And don't even get me started on that Scottish independence. We don't need more country in Europe, we need fewer countries in Europe, and they all need to speak with one voice.
Which is
German. We have to understand, like Germany versus Britain, Italy versus France, we all hate the Dutch. Yes, of course we all hate the Dutch. They're horrible. That's not a point I'm trying to make.
No, we like the Dutch.
No, they're awful.
We like the Dutch.
No, they're absolutely awful.
We hate the Germans. We don't.
Let's have a look and see whether Cameron talking about the EU is up there. Yes, David Cameron has promised an in-out referendum on Europe. France and Germany have said Britain can't pick and choose its terms with Europe. There are just two things you need to remember, France and Germany: World War I and World War II.
Well, third time lucky.
They'll do it again. They will. They'll do it again, won't you? They'll do it again.
We're really up for it.
So this is what it's like if you listen to radio in German and you can understand German. This is what they're saying all the time on the radio. When you're in German, you don't know what they're saying, but it's just stuff like this. It's just they're just shouting it to each other. Yes, this time we will do it.
It's a bit like England before any World Cup.
At the end of that round, Sean, Henny and Richard have 1 point. John, Gemma and Catherine have 2. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. John, Gemma, Catherine, pick a question.
Let's have Silvio Berlusconi.
OK. This week it was reported that 76-year-old billionaire and former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi is suing a magazine for photographing him with a harem of beautiful young women. So we asked our studio audience, do you find powerful people more attractive, yes or no?
Yes. You know that book, 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
The guy
Mainly
that was in it was a very powerful, like, he did turn out to be a weirdo, but he was really powerful, and he had that hold over that woman, and it just shows you that women do like that sort of thing.
Wasn't so much a hold as a clamp.
Yeah.
You've got a bloke that, like, just ain't powerful, you just don't want him.
No, yes, I do.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I want someone who's at the end of his rope. Someone who's got no more to lose than he already has. I want someone grateful.
What about you, John? Do you like a powerful woman?
Well, I was so sure you were going to say powerful man there. Yeah. Power, just for power's sake, is boring, isn't it? If they're powerful because they've done something, like a rhino is powerful.
Rhinos don't do anything.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't shag a rhino. If a rhino had done something amazing.
You would then shag it?
Well...
The way I understand it
Go
is
on.
that they always say women like nothing better than a man that makes them laugh. It's just an absolute shame that women find nothing funnier than £1 million in the bank.
What about you, Richard? What do you think?
Well, there are people who are powerful who are attractive as well. So Barack Obama is, he is also attractive.
Thought you were going to pick a woman.
Yeah.
Some people used to find Margaret Thatcher attractive, didn't they? Certain
Oh,
people.
yeah. I look at her, I think, whoa, I would fuck her like she would fuck a northern town. So the question is, do you find powerful people more attractive, yes or no? We asked our studio audience. What do you think they said, Sean?
I think they said, nah.
OK, what do you think, John?
Yeah, obvious, yes. Fact, 100%.
OK, you're going yes. I can tell you the answer is yes. 53% of our studio audience do find powerful people more attractive. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best thing about living with your parents?
Oh, it's washing them, isn't it? For the age my parents are at. It's getting up in the morning and giving them a good wash. It's like, it's like the elephants in the zoo. I just stand them on the end of the table. I get hose, I just scrub them all down.
How big are your parents?
Also, if you live with your parents, you can keep tabs on your inheritance, can't you? So, you don't need to have an evening meal. You had a big lunch. You don't need a new carpet. It's fine. Just take
Eating
glasses
on
off.
Bonacardi, you'll be fine.
No, don't spend that. Well, this is mine.
Also, another one is you don't need to make up lies on how well you're doing, because they know you're a failure.
Catherine, how old were you when you moved out?
18.
18, and you
Yes.
never went back?
I never went back. I came to the UK by myself, and I'm a working foreign single mom.
Whoa. There's no need for a round of applause there. The Daily Mail want her out. What age were you when you moved out?
31.
You moved out last year.
Yeah, they started putting the news on.
No, right, the best thing...
You moved out last year.
Well, the best thing about living at home with my mum and dad was I used to ring them from the bedroom and say, can you put the kettle on, and stuff like that. And I know it sounds really bad, but we are from Essex, and that's what you do there.
But what if you, in that period when you get back, because I think the hardest thing would be making excuses. If you want to bring someone back and you live with your parents and you've got to pretend they're like your housemates.
Just do it in your front room.
I moved in here quite young, yeah.
Hang on.
Hang on a second.
Hello.
Just do it in the front room.
If your mum and dad are upstairs, just take them in the front room.
Just take him in the front room. What a lovely thought.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I know I'm usually upstairs and you're down, but I'm downstairs shagging and I am gasping.
Best thing about living with your parents. So what do you think?
It's cheap.
That is the correct answer. Give you that. Yes, the best thing about living with your parents is not having to pay bills. Just because you live with your parents doesn't mean you can't have a life. My mate lives with his parents and he got lucky the other night. Crispy pancakes for tea. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Henning and Richard have 1 point. John, Gemma and Catherine have 4 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Tuesday. That's it from us. Good night.